The results-driven Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce invites you to connect your business with 1,000 other companies just like yours, including education and workforce development, healthcare, professional services, manufacturing, retail, nonprofit, trades and vocations, hospitality, among many others, and benefit with chamber programs and services such as government affairs, energy and economic development, small business assistance, networking opportunities, women in business programs, young people in business programs, and more. We invite your business to become a starring member of the Merrimack Valley Chamber today and see what a difference this chamber will make for you. Join your community's most trusted, effective, and relevant business network connection today. The Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Bevilacqua. I'm the Vice President of the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce, and welcome back to another edition of the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program. Our desk seems a little more elaborate right now, and it's all thanks to this man right here, Rick Payeur of Payeur Silk Flowers. So Rick, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. Thanks for having me. I'm really honored to be here.
Well, you've been a long-time chamber member, I think about 10 years now, so it's great to finally get you as a guest on this show and tell everyone about these great things that you have to offer. So Rick, tell us a little about your business and what you do. All
right. Well, my business is Payeur Silk Flowers. I've been in business for 21 years. I'll be starting my 22nd year in July of 2024.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My business didn't start off that busy, but boy, it's sure made up for it. So I've been very, very busy. I do just funeral flowers, that I rent flowers for funerals. So I brought one of my pieces with me. It looks as real as
it's amazing.
As if they're fresh.
You know, Rick,
so.
you know, you've been a long-time chamber member, as I mentioned. You set up at multiple ones of our expos, business expos, and it's funny because whenever you do set up, you have one of these arrangements or a couple of arrangements, and you see people go over and trying to smell them, and I'm telling them, no, they're not real flowers, but they look so real. They look so real that people confuse them all the time for the real thing. And it's just such an amazing job that you do that it's a great opportunity for people that want these things for different opportunities. So what do people rent the flowers out for?
Okay. I only do funerals.
Only funerals, yes.
I started off and I was doing weddings and I was doing centerpieces and I do whatever anybody asked me to do, and it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
So I've worked at a funeral home for almost 19 years. I even worked at a funeral home prior to that.
Yeah.
So I would see people buy fresh flowers that couldn't afford it, and then they were struggling to pay the bills.
Sure.
And I said, geez, there's got to be a better way. And so this is how I got started. And now just this month alone, I've had 10 rentals in the last 11 days. So in 11 days. So it's very, very busy. The word has got out. Word of mouth has been incredible.
Yep.
And I would say about 40% of my business now is repeat customers.
Wow. Well,
so
congratulations.
Too, yeah.
You know, if someone's interested in using you for their service, obviously you were right around the time of the death. It's a lot going on.
Right.
How do they contact you? How do they go through the process of renting your flowers?
Okay. I do have a Facebook page, and my website is Payeur Silk Flowers. You just have to look up where it says Lawrence, and it'll come up. It's very easy. Payeur is a very unusual name, so Payeur. And then what you do is you call me. I don't take orders like online or anything. So I like old-fashioned customer service where it's one-on-one.
Yep.
You call me, I ask you all the questions, you put ribbons on it. I confirm that the pieces that you're getting are the right ones, because if you look up my website on a phone or on an iPad, sometimes the names don't show up directly under the piece.
Yep.
So I confirm that, yes, it's that piece, it's a red and white piece, it's a standing spray, and that way you're sure.
So you're not surprised when you show up and there's something that you don't order. It's all what you talked about, all what you ordered, all in time, and you deliver them yourself, correct?
I do. I have one other person now, a retired woman that helps me to deliver my flowers.
Oh, that's great.
So that helps a lot. But I asked you if you want ribbons on them, so I'll put a ribbon that says like mom or dad or whatever you want.
Yep.
And then I deliver them and I pick them up, and they get reused, which is nice. A lot of people like the fact that, they're not just
don't go to waste.
used once and thrown out in a dumpster.
So you'll go drop them off, make sure they're set up correctly on time, and then you'll pick them up after, correct?
Absolutely right. Yep, that's exactly how it works. And the one thing too, which and this has definitely made an impact on my front of my brochure. I have just a little line. It says veteran-owned business.
Yes.
What a difference that makes. The amount of people that say, oh, by the way, you're a veteran. I really appreciate your service.
Sure.
And this is why I came to you instead of going somewhere else.
Yep.
Because my dad was a veteran and he'd want me to get my flowers from you. So it's made a big impact.
Well, thank you for your service. Again, the Merrimack Valley Chamber does a lot with our veteran community. We always say, tell people you're a veteran-owned business because, like you said, people want to support our veterans and veteran-owned businesses. So thank you again for your service with that.
You're welcome.
So what other type of arrangements do you have to offer as well?
Okay, besides standing sprays, I obviously have casket sprays. They're a standard size piece. They're not overly large. They're standard size. The price of a casket spray is $65, going up to $75 first of the year.
Yep.
My first increase in almost 21 years. And then I also have floral hearts, floral crosses. I have a couple baskets. So I have basically all the pieces that any
you
other
would see at
florist
regular
would.
funerals. So.
Yeah.
And do you work with all the different funeral homes in the area as well?
I do. As a matter of fact, I just came back from one as I was driving over here. I have more funeral homes calling me now than ever.
Wow.
It took a while, but funeral homes are hearing so many good comments from the families.
Yep.
And plus they're saving them money. So who doesn't like that? So for a funeral home that gets positive feedback about my flowers, love the prices, love that they look so real, and so funeral homes now are calling me instead of me calling them,
and
which is great.
For those wondering who say, oh, they look real here, but who knows if they will there, let me just mention one thing you said. Almost half of your business is repeat business.
Right.
So it says something about your service.
Yep.
It says something about your quality and your products as well. So.
Right. And the thing is, I've had people that have called me. I have one family that's called me about 7 times now they says, I just can't get myself to call a florist when I know I can call you and get a great product at a great price.
Yeah.
So, they call me, just their first thought is to call me, so, which is great.
Now, what was your whole, you said you started this about 21 years ago. What made you start this? What got you into this?
I think, first of all, I said that I think people that could least afford it were the ones that had the most flowers.
Sure.
But the other thing, too, is, well, there's so many things, actually. One of them is flower allergies. People that have flower allergies can't have flowers because otherwise they have tears running down their eyes or their running nose or everything for 4 hours or 2 hours or whatever time they're there. So that was another thing. There were several things, but how I initially got started is I made 2 pieces and I would show them around and I'd tell people, would you rent this? Would you rent this? And they go, oh yeah, those aren't real. So that was my reason to do more and more. So I started my business in 2002 with 13 pieces, and I now have 75 pieces.
Wow.
So and if I had more room, I could easily have more.
Grow into more space.
Yeah. But right now I'm perfectly content with 75 pieces. I work out of my home, so it takes a lot of room.
I'm sure
takes a lot of room.
Your home is covered with flowers, so. Well, Rick, tell everyone at home one more time how to contact you, the best way to go through the process.
Right. The best thing to do is probably you'll hear or see my brochures on at a funeral home.
Yep.
If so, just feel free to ask them if you could take one. They'll probably offer you one anyways. The funeral home may want to place your order for you, and then that's fine because they'll call me directly and I'll ask them the questions I would ask you, so that's fine.
Sure.
Or you can call me direct, and my number is 978-975-5658. When you call me, you get a live person. You don't get a voicemail.
Yeah, you're not a robot, so.
Unless I happen to be out of the house.
Yeah.
That's not that often. So you get a live person. I'll go through everything with you, make sure you get exactly what you're asking for, and then we'll get a time of the services. I'll tell you what time I can deliver, and make sure that everything's fine with you.
Make sure everything's set up on time,
Right,
taken off,
right.
taken away at the right time as well. Because
Right.
you know, as we said, when someone loses a loved one, it's a hard process to do. But
Toughest time of your
you
life.
know, you don't want to
Yep.
go through a complicated process.
Right.
You want it to be as easy as possible, and to talk to an actual person that
Yep.
will go through the steps and make sure it's all set up perfectly is a major factor, I'm sure, as well. So that's a great thing. You know, you have, as you mentioned, you have a lot of repeat business. What do those customers say? Why do they come back?
Well, first of all, they love the quality. They really love the quality. And before, people were so hesitant at first because people would say, "I'm going to do silk flowers for my mother or father. What if somebody finds out that they're silk?" You know. So now the funny thing about it, and I work at a funeral home, so I've seen it and heard it myself. They'll say, "Hey, by the way, you like the flowers? Guess what? They're not even real."
Wow.
And you know,
Yeah.
and guess what? It cost me. And you
Wow.
know, and they're like proud to tell
Yep.
people now, whereas before they were so hesitant. So over time, the stigma of
It's
not
changed, so.
yeah, it's changed so much. And not only that, but people were having 2-day calling hours. They were having 4-hour calling hours. Now so many services are only 2 hours, or they're private, or they don't go to a cemetery, or some of them don't even go to a church. So what are you going to do with the flowers? You know, they're just going to be tossed into a dumpster, or out, and you don't take home usually a casket
No,
spray
yeah.
or a cremation wreath. Or,
Yeah.
so the flowers were really being wasted, you know. So this is a great option.
No, it's a
It's
great,
a
great
great
alternative,
alternative.
For those that, you know, are looking for a service like this. And
Yeah.
you know, Rick, one of my favorite things throughout this whole episode is seeing your passion for this. You know, you're smiling, you're loving the stories you're talking about, because this was your business that's really grown over these course of 21 years, and you're able to help those that need this sort of service as well. So I know you're very passionate about that as
Yeah.
well. So
And if you saw I keep all my letters, all my emails,
Yeah.
all my thank you cards, everything that I get, and my folder is very large. But it makes me feel so good when somebody takes the time to acknowledge that, you know, thank you for what you do. You know, it's such a great product. Sometimes they'll say, "You're genius," and I go, "No, I'm not genius. I just found a niche that was
Yeah.
missing," you know. So but every time I get it, a family says, "What a great idea!"
it makes the whole thing worth it then.
That's what keeps me going, and
Yeah.
it keeps me in business for this long. And if I could do it till I'm 90, I'll do it till I'm 92. So
Yeah, like you said, you're not a business with 100 people working for you. There's you
Yeah.
and one other person. You love what you do though, and
Yeah.
that's what keeps you going for each and every phone call. You talk to everyone individually.
Yeah.
You make the deliveries, if not the other person working with you now,
Yeah.
and you make sure it's taken care of, which is a great thing to have, and that peace of mind that's going to be taken care of. So.
And I think the other thing too is I'm there from 8. My hours are 8 in the morning till 8 at night.
Yeah.
So if you work a full-time job and you can't call me during the day, you can reach me at night.
Yeah, you're gonna be there
And-
some time of the day for them to talk to you.
Right.
So.
So it makes it more convenient. And 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And people always say, "Well, don't you take vacations?" I think I've taken one vacation in the
Wow,
past 10
yeah.
years.
That's
you know?
when you love what you do. So,
Yeah.
Well, Rick, I just want to say thank you again for all
Yeah.
you do.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
for being part of the show as well. Tell them at home one last time how they can contact you
Right.
And learn more.
You can either call my home, call the funeral home that you're working with, or you can go on my website, look at all my pieces. All 75 pieces are there.
Wow,
So
that's great. Well, Rick, thanks again.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, just about half of your business is repeat customers, so that should answer a lot of questions that people have. But just want to say thank you again for being part of the show. Thanks for being a member of the Chamber as well for all
welcome.
these years, and best of luck to you in the future.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you again. And thank you all for being part of another edition of the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.